All right, and we are live. Thank you, everybody, for joining the fourth session of the day for those who have joined previous sessions. This is a DIT Hour of Learning session, an ongoing series of training that we're going to provide virtually for any areas of interest within FCPS. The next day that we're going to focus on the DIT Hour of Learning will be April 2nd. We're going to present on the new the new Zoom AI companion tool that'll be turned on for everybody in FCPS relatively soon, I think prior to April 2nd. So look out for that. If you have not already done so, please feel free to join the DIT events chat channel for more information about today's sessions and also future things that we're going to host around technology topics. So this session will last about an hour, and at that point, I'll jump in and we'll wrap it up. And then there's one more session today related to teaching science with Adobe Express. That session starts at 2:45. So anybody that's interested in that, even if you haven't registered, please feel free to join. All right, and with that, I will hand it over to Tom. Take it away, Tom.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. Hello, everybody. Pleasure to be here with you today for Infographics with Adobe Express. You may hear a sound in the background. There she is behind me is my kid playing. What was the top of a Cholula, I don't know how to pronounce it, hot sauce bottle. And so that's that. Let me just introduce you to me real quick. My name is Tom Malini. I come to you from lovely Hillsborough, North Carolina, 15 minutes west of Durham. I'm originally from New York. I've lived in 6 states, including Virginia and DC. Yeah, after graduating from GW, I lived in Crystal City in Arlington for a little bit. And yeah, so my background, special education, and then middle and high school, social studies, he, him pronouns. And is there anything else to say? No, I don't think that's it. So anyway, it's a lovely and a pleasure to be with you all today. What we're going to get into is something called infographics, and we're actually going to use a template real quick. I will start actually with, wait for it, the slides. So I just put the link to the slides in the chat. You don't have to open them. It has the links to everything we're going to do, but I will be dropping those links in as well as we go. So don't feel like you have to be following along with the slides. I'm going to use a quick little template real quick, and I'm going to just play with it for a minute, and then I'm going to give you all a chance to play with it. So let me copy, hold on, let me get this link, and let me bring up Adobe Express. And by the way, here's the lovely Adobe Express. There are, you have quick things you can do, including create a graphic real quick, posters, video, web page, presentations, all sorts of cool stuff. Even now, a drawing tool that's a separate tool. If you ever want, I'd love to come back and do a thing about Adobe Express drawing. I love it. The AI stuff, animate from audio, all sorts of cool stuff. But I'm just going to go to this prearranged template. And you all will do this momentarily, but not yet. And there it is. Okay. And so I'm going to type Tom intro. Always give yourself a title at the upper left. Say that to the kids until they can't forget it, right? And obviously, we need to change some things on this because I'm not Mrs. Gonzalez or Ms. Gonzalez, excuse me. So welcome to, I'll just say Adobe PD. All right. And then we'll just say Tom. And here, I can even type my email real quick. And I'm going to do a couple things. So now I can change these icons, and these icons are a lot of fun. In fact, here, we'll do our first audience participation. Any common noun at all. All right. Any common noun at all. And by the way, we have a ton of common nouns over here, as you can see. But give me a common noun and dog. Okay. Dog, Chris, you win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to elements, and I'm going to go to icons, and I'm going to search for dog. Okay. And there are umpteen, as you can see. There's also design assets, which come in as actual images. So that's an actual image. Let me go. I'm actually, you know what, Chris, thank you. But I am a cat, like, as you can see. So we're going to do cat real quick. And the design assets are obviously cute, but we'll go icons. We'll keep the iconography. Oh man, let me tell you, I mean, this one here, this one I think conveys how kooky my little guy, Mr. Fred, and then also my little girl, Ms. Hazel, they are. So I'm going to just throw that in there. All right. I'm going to change this picture. And anytime you see a picture in a template, all you have to do is click this button to replace it. And then I'll just upload from my device and I'll just search for myself. And I know I have a headshot of myself in here somewhere. Show all 12. Show all 95. Come on, where am I? Here we are. I knew I had myself here. Okay. So we'll go with this one. All right. So now I'm Tom. And then I'm just going to do like one more thing before I just share this in the chat. So I'm going to change this background here. Oh, yeah, this here. And by the way, you see how these are all layers? And this is just a rectangle at the very bottom here, right? Okay. And you see I can move it around and I can cover things up using the layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to be like a dark, let's go with like a dark black color. Actually, let's not do that because all my text is, so let's go with a very light color. So I'll go to custom and maybe like a pinkish and like a very, that's not as great. Unfortunately, we have dark text. Actually, you know what? Here, I'll just make this, watch this. I'll change the text color and make it like nice and purple. So we go here to our color. We'll go here, I'll make it blue. What the heck? And I'll grab both of those. Actually, I'm hitting shift to just hold all these three things. And I can do the fill. We're going to do a dark blue. And actually, let's darken that up a little bit. Okay, they'll do that dark blue. And I should have done that for that one as well. All right. And again, we'll do that dark purple. And let's even do an outline. Let's do like a green outline. Okay, cool. All right, so you see I've done a few things here. I've tried to customize this. You actually can. So as far as matching the color, I notice on my computer it doesn't work that great, but it should work. So let's say I want to change the color of this text right here. I go to fill, and then there is a color dropper, which for some reason when although right here it's working perfectly. It was working perfectly. Like, yeah, there it's working good. Let me do the pants leg here. And it didn't work. All right. I'm telling you, when I'm on other devices, that color dropper works fine. On this, when I project my other screen, I don't know why it just doesn't. I don't know. I can't tell you. But what I'm going to do is I want you to play with this. And the way we're going to play with this in a second, but I'll just show you. I'm going to click download. I'm going to click download as a PNG. Anytime you have anything other than a photograph, you can download as a PDF, by the way, but we'll download as a PNG. Download that right there. And then I'll throw it right in the chat. So there it is. Yes, there we go. And now you can see it. Now, you should have the Meet the Teacher template in the slides, but I'm going to put it here. I think that should work. Tell me if it doesn't. Yes, it worked. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to take the next 5 minutes and try to customize that to yourself as much as possible. You can change the fonts, you can change the colors, change the icons. Like, does it have to be this person with a pencil? I don't know. You can change the icons, the lettering. Have at it. We'll take 5 minutes. And if you want to share in the chat, share in the chat. Okay. All right. During this time also, if you have questions, you can go to the chat and, or even unmute yourself. Okay. So let's do 5 minutes and we'll go from there. All right, we're almost back. And I received a question that I will try to address. We'll see. See if I can. Oh, thank you, Claudia. I know that template is really big. There's a lot there that you can customize. So 5 minutes may not have been enough, but we got to be out of here by 2:30, you know, so we'll do the best we can. All right. I had a question about generative fill. So let me see if I'm getting this right. And whoever asked it, they asked it to me directly, so I don't want to say the name. But if I go to media and let me upload an image from my device, and so hold on, give me a second here. Is this a good one? Awesome. Yeah, look at this picture. Wow, it's amazing. It's a faucet that we have in our kitchen. Very poorly lit, I'll say. And what I'm going to do here is I'll click on, so I haven't played with generative fill that much, but let's do a generative fill. And let's say describe what I'd like to see. A beach on a sunny day. I don't know. And I'll click done. And it doesn't. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, all right. So I'm going to try to make this into a beach behind my little thing here. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that'll happen. All right. Let's hit generate and see what happens. And it's all right. So here's the deal. This is not working out that well. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I do want to get to the infographic stuff. It's definitely something you can play with if you care to. Sorry that demo didn't go that great. Yeah, it looks maybe generative fill isn't having the best day it's ever had. It may be because it was a dark picture. I don't know. Well, sorry about that. All right, let's continue and get into some infographics fun. So when we talk about infographics, right? Adobe Express is a great tool for creating infographics. So it has a seamless editor that allows you to switch between graphics, animation, and video in moments, all in the same project. You can edit video, you can edit PDFs. There's a real-time collaboration feature, including comments, and you can animate from audio, which is a really nice tool. But let's get into infographics and what's an infographic, right? So an infographic is an image that summarizes a topic or presents complex information in a simple, clear manner using minimal text, right? Students with text and image directions do 323% better than those without. I don't know where Adobe got that, but I mean, I will say this. When you think about our students and you think about them on their phones and their TikToks and all the visual stimulation that they have is a facet of each and every minute of their lives. What are they going to do better with? Actual imagery or black text on white pixels, right? We got to make it a little more multimodal. So our brains register images in just 13 milliseconds, 20 times faster than most human reflexes, and colorful visuals have been shown to increase student willingness to read by 80%. I know when I blog, I try to make sure there's some sort of pictures in there along the way or people are just not going to hang with. Note to self about an upcoming blog. All right, let's create together. So, oh, you know what? I actually want to show, this is a lovely, when you do this with students, all right, you want to ask yourself 2 questions to get started. What exactly do students need to learn? And what facts, images, and text should we use to help them learn the complex idea? Now, we're going to do one with the water cycle, or excuse me, I'm going to do one with the water cycle, and then you'll have choice to do whatever you care to. And so the way this works in Express is I don't even have a template. I'm going to show you right away what we can do. So I'm going to be at the homepage and I'm going to search water cycle. If you teach something, there is nothing wrong with throwing it into your Adobe Express machine because oftentimes there's templates ready to go. Now, will there be a template for the water cycle? Oh, I don't know. Yes. And so these are the ones that I've done before. I'm going to do them again. And actually, all right. Let's take this one right here. And and let's customize template. Now let's pretend for a second, I'm going to actually customize the fonts real quick. Okay. So I'm going to use the shift key to just, I think I'm selecting every font, all the words. Nope. Here, no, I see. All right. I have to ungroup some stuff. So let me ungroup. By the way, grouping is really cool. That you can group stuff is really nice. Ungroup, ungroup. So the template has some stuff grouped. But once you ungroup it, that's probably going to let me do it now. Yes, this will let me do it. So I'm hitting the select key just to get all of the text, and I'm going to make the text pop-ins. Okay, boom, love it. All right, I like what I see. We're going to play with it a little bit more though. Now, oh, and I never titled it. So my bad. Water cycle 3/5/24. Now I got another question. Oh, got to put another dash in there, pal. I got another question. Can you share this as a template with students? You can share anything as a template with students. How? Well, you click on this share button and you go to publish to web. And when you click on publish to web, there's a magical button that I need you to make sure you know about. Allow others to remix. And so I'll click publish link. It takes a second. Your link is ready. Let me copy that link. And now I would send this off to students. Let me show you what students would see. So students would see this. You see this? Remix this design. And that's where it's the forced copy. Now, what they would have to then do is once they're working on it, they'd have to click share and either generate a link or create, just add you as an editor. And that way you could then give them feedback and comments. You see the comments feature, pretty cool. All right. But with that, I want to customize this. I want to make this my own. So let's customize. So I'm going to do a few things here. I am going to take the back of this and you see it's an image and I don't like that. So I'm going to do, I'm going to change the image again and we're going to make it water drops. Ooh, that's all right. These are all good, but let's go with this one right here. Okay. So now I got that in the background. I also, this color, I'm not loving this color. So let's make that color more of a dark blue. And we'll go to custom. And I'm going to go more like, oh, this is the good stuff. I'm even going to copy that because I'm going to change the fonts over here to that. So let's quickly do that. That's good. And then again, with just the shift key, I can shift everything, all my text, just holding down shift and clicking. And I'm going to change the color to that wonderful dark color that I pasted to my clipboard. Beautiful. Oh, love it. I think I can also, oh, so you see here, this is a group. So I'm going to ungroup this one and ungroup this because right now it's these yellow colors are a little like, do you see this yellow color? It's way too light for the white against it, but I'm going to fix that real quick. Watch this. I'm going to ungroup and ungroup. And then the actual shape, which I think I can, yeah, yep, I think I can fix it. Hold on. All right, fill. Again, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm loving it. Now, one thing I don't love is I don't love this, whatever this is. I want to have more of a pictorial representation. That doesn't sound right, but I want to make this more of a picture. And so what I'm going to do with this water cycle one here is I'm actually going to go add an image. So let's go to media and I'm going to go to mountains and stream. Let's search for that. All right. Oh, and by the way, while we're at it, see these borders? I'm going to change these borders too. They're all, I want to really emphasize this blue. All right. So border, again, my hex code, beautiful. All right. I probably need to do something to add a little bit more color, but this will be a splash of color right quick. Watch this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to media and I'm going to add that mountains and stream image. Okay. Just zoom that up a little bit. And I'm going to do a crop. And with the crop, I'm going to do it as a circle. Yep. Love it. All right. So now that's a circle. And I'm going to put that kind of, I want to get that center. You see how these guidelines, and actually I'll make this bigger because these guidelines, well, maybe more like 100. These guidelines are so helpful to get things lined up. You see that? I don't know if you can, but I got it all lined up. And then I will use the layer tool over here to bring it behind all that stuff. And then I'm just going to delete this thing. All right. And so then when we back out of it, to me, that just looks, I mean, I have to play with the text a little bit to format it a little better, but that looks, ooh, that looks more profesh. Oh, I got a little off center. There, I think that's better. Okay. And then again, I can just download that and upload it right here. I'm going to say I'm proud. Okay. I'm proud of what I did. You know, oh, okay. It's still downloading. Good. There it is. All right. So I want to show off. That's why I did that there. So anyway, that's me taking a template and do that. Right. Oh, so I just got a question about publish to the web. So for the templates, I thought we could do link. We can't do link. Scott can maybe clarify. Maybe we can't do link sharing or under share here. Why is it doing that?
Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have all the answers. There's a lot of limitations that
Okay.
FCPS is set up in Adobe. We're not 100% aware of all of them, but all of the offerings we've had today have generated a lot of questions. So we're going to get together offline and come up with some known limitations to what Adobe Express can do.
Right. You could always just give your kids the view. I mean, if you could do anyone with the link or anyone at mine says Adobe product demo, but yours would be Fairfax County can view, and then people can make copies. Their kids can make copies. So that's another way of doing it. Right. All right. Before I let you all play for a little bit. All right. And then it was, okay. Before we all play for a little bit, let's just talk another minute about infographics. So, right, they help students understanding. So students can synthesize complete information at quicker speeds. They can gain confidence in presenting new ideas to peers and teachers, show their learning in creative and beautiful ways. They can develop 21st century digital skills. So hook your students' attention with color and pizzazz. Maybe I need a little bit more color and a little bit more zazz on that water cycle, but whatever. I thought the background and then the image of the stream of mountains I thought was pretty decent. Anyway, organize information visually, show connections between complex ideas. So here's another example of a template that you could play with. This one is the animal cell anatomy. And remember, this is the directions that once you get link sharing going for the whole district, it will work. As best I know, right now, I got a question about brand colors. As best I understand, brand colors aren't in it yet. I could be wrong. The only thing I'll say is, and now this might be locked down, but what the heck, I'll just show you real quick. There is, under add-ons, which again, you might have locked down, but you can search add-ons. There's one called brand fetch. So if you have brand fetch, you can add that, and then you can look up typically like if you did Google, and you would at least get these assets that you can add in, which is kind of cool. Brand fetch might not work. I don't know. But you can at least, take a look at that under add-ons. There's kind of like a lot of interesting add-ons. All right, where were we? There we go. Oh, cool. All right, and Summer, maybe we'll have you share about that later. But yeah, all right, let's keep on going with the templates. All right, so now it's time for you all to do a template for us. And what that means is you're going to create an infographic. And what I'm going to ask you to do is start with your topic. So in Express, so let's go to Express. I'm going to ask you to search for something that you teach or that you do. And we did water cycle, we did photosynthesis. I did photosynthesis with folks earlier. Here, I'll do cell anatomy. I'm high on my science stuff because I got science later. And well, here, as you can see here, there's one for plant cell anatomy, a couple for plant cell anatomy, a lot for plant. What am I talking about here? So it's just infographic time. All right, I'll put the link to Express in here. So this is Adobe Express. And then the other thing I'll say is we'll take about 15 minutes for this. At the end of the 15 minutes, I will ask you to please share whatever you create on this FigJam. Here, share your creation. And what that is this. So let me... It's a file where you can sign in with Google. And I already had it up, but whatever. You just zoom in on any sticky note and you can type, so Tom's water cycle. Now, link sharing isn't working, but that's fine. Just click the plus, click more, media, and then I'll click on that and I'll zoom it down a little bit. See, look how I think that looks super professional. Again, I know I got to play with the font. The font is drip, bleeding over, but I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, so let me I'll just put share your work and I'll put that in the chat as well. And then we'll take 15 minutes. We'll come back. We'll talk about badging, attendance, the survey, and the swag raffle. Yeah, one of you is leaving with some swag today. All right. During this time, please. All right, no add-ons. Fair enough. Okay. Sorry about that. I was just asking about branding and I figured well, maybe it'll be there. Take 15 minutes, make something of your own using those templates, search a template, and we'll go from there. I'll be here to answer any and all questions. I'm so sorry. Yeah, brands is right there. And you can create that. It's, you know what? It's something that I've just not been, I just haven't played with that much. So, it's, but it is all there. You can create and, um, wow. Hey, how about that? Have some fun. How about that? So with the add-ons, that is probably something that is district by district. So that's something that your FCPS people could consider and then see. I don't, it just doesn't come up a lot with education per se. But it's something that, you could always ask about. And we have a little less than 10 minutes left of playing, 9 minutes. So as far as the templates, let me actually show you something with that real quick. So I was asked, it seemed to be vertical instead of horizontal. Let's play with that for a second. So I'm going to go in here, and remember, I'm going to actually, let's go home, and I'm going to search cell structure, I think it was. And I'm going to go to templates. And that one I really liked wasn't there. Oh, but let me do, let's do this one, plant cell anatomy, right? Now, this is exactly what was asked in the question by an anonymous participant. Hey, this is portrait. I don't like portrait. And our kid screens aren't portrait. They're more of a landscape, right? Well, watch this. What if we resize it? And so we click on our resize button, and I'm going to do 1920 by 1080 just because that's just like my go-to default. 1920 by 1080. That's like in most YouTube videos you watch are in a 1920 by 1080 ratio. All right, so we hit resize. And now what I could do is I could start stretching some things out. I can, all right, this background, we got to lock the background in place. So let's lock that in place. And then let me take all these guys, which are all grouped. I'll put them over here. Then I'm going to ungroup them. And then I could have the kids, let me see if I can move that. Yeah, and I could move them over, then make a template and have the kids drag them back to the right spots. So yes, most of the portraits are portrait oriented. And my guess is just because so many users, are using phones these days, even though the mobile app isn't quite fully baked with the updates yet, but whatever. That's how you would do that, is that you would just adjust under resize. Great question. Thank you. 4 minutes to go. Remember to be sure to, once you throw it in that Fig Jam, I'll put that link again. Yeah, David, I figured it was. With the Firefly. Let me. Margaret asks if there's a page limit to a file. Not that I've seen. I've never been asked though. I have one. So I have one file that is for all the images for my blog posts. You write a blog post. WordPress lets you have an image that shows up when you share it on Twitter or whatever. And I just keep on duplicating and then reformatting. And I haven't come up against that. So the answer is I don't know, but I haven't seen it be an issue. That's the answer. And about 90 seconds, and then we'll start doing our kind of closing moves, and we'll do surveys and attendance, and we'll get you someone's going to get a swag. Hey, thank you, Mohammed. Please add that to the Fig Jam as well. I like to have a little file that, oh, these, people were creating. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And we're now going to be on slide 16. And I got work for you. I'm a teacher. I'm always giving people work to do. And the very first thing I'm going to ask you to do is actually, I know it says step 5. We're going to do it first. It's the attendance. All right. So our attendance, and I'll throw that in the chat. There it is this document or this Google form right here. All right. So we got a Google form, right? But watch. When you complete this Google form, what happens is I am then going to go into, we're at the 4th one so far. So I'm going to go here and I am going to reward one lucky winner, this swag bag of, let's see, it would be a Joy of Creativity notebook and a little tumbler. Yeah. So one of y'all are going to win that. Pretty cool, but I'm going to take it from the spreadsheet of the attendance. So let's work on the attendance, and then we'll talk about badging in about 2 minutes, which is on the. Actually, we'll talk about the survey real quick. We'll talk about the survey at 22 after. Please let me know if you're having any problem with the attendance. All right, with that, let's get into our survey. So at Adobe, we want to, I work with ALP, a partner of Adobe's, and Adobe just wants to, know your role and then know what you thought about our session today. All right. So with that, I'm going to drop in the chat. Oh, slides once more. I can do that. Let's just do the survey real quick. So survey says, please complete the survey. I'll put the slides in a second. And it does. Hooray. So take a minute to do that, and then we're going to talk badging. So maybe like 24, 25, I'll do badge. Yeah, maybe at 25, I'll do badges. All right, let's get into the badging. Now with the badging, you may be able to open it up now and enroll in the online course. And you don't really have to do the activities because you've already done them. But it may ask you to upload a file or do some things that it might take a minute after this course to do, or after our time today to do. So I just want to be clear about that. So the link to the badges is right here. You click on this, and it's infographics with the Adobe Express. This should say enroll in course, where mine says continue learning. And you should, yeah, at the very end, there's an assignment. You can click through all these, but then at the assignment, you may have to put a link to something you created, which I know there might be an issue with. So it might be that you have to hold off. But anyway, either way, I will put the link for the badge in the chat. And then in a minute or two, make sure you did the attendance, because that way you don't have, but like I said, you don't have to watch the videos in the course. You've taken the course. You're good. It's just a matter of getting the badge. So I just put that in there. And where are we with the survey? Or excuse me, with the attendance? I'm going to make sure I know. All right, so that's 14. Okay. All right, looks like you're doing a pretty good job. I think maybe one or two of you more have to do the attendance. But we'll do that in another minute or two, and I'll do the drawing. So if you haven't done the attendance yet, make sure you do that. All right, let's do our drawing. And so I just go from here. And so the first one to fill it out for this session was 62, Christy McLaughlin. And 80 is the last one, Patty Lopez. So what I'm going to do, this is full transparency. This is totally fair. I'm going to go into my random number generator. Thank you, Google. I'm going to type 62 for min and 80 for max. And we're going to generate a number. David, I think you already, well, I guess the rules are the rules. I didn't say we couldn't have repeat winners, so.
Competition committee says you could only win once a day, David.
All right, we got, all right. Well, I got the spreadsheet, so anyway, I'll hit generate. 77, and it's Elizabeth. Congratulations, Elizabeth. What's going to happen is you're going to get an email from me. It should be tom.mullaney@alplearn.com, I think. And that will do it. In the meantime, and you'll have the link. I'll do the subject of Adobe swag. In the meantime, I want to thank everyone for their time, energy, and attention. It was a lovely session. Please let me know if you have any questions. And yeah. Oh, I see some stuff in the chat. Thank you all. Right. You're most welcome.
I'm still on mute. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you're still on, I see a lot of people already dropping, but this session will be, the recording of this session will be shared out just in case you wanted to rewatch. Also, you will be receiving my PDE credit at some point later this week or early next week. So thank you again for joining. If you're joining the next session, the teaching science with Adobe Express, that will start at about 2:45. Thank you again, Tom. I'm going to stop the recording now.
Awesome. You're very